Yo, welcome to another video. In today's video, I kind of wanted to talk about the Dying Like the Beast, and man, I just gotta say, this game, no joke, is one of my favorite zombie horror survival games. I played in a minute. I mainly say that because the stuff Techland promised about the nighttime and the variants of zombies or infected, the sound effects and like this other stuff that they played around that really made the game feel more horror-esque. Horror is what is just amazing because this game genuinely felt like a horror game when it was nighttime and sometimes even during daytime. There would be these sequences where if you weren't paying attention and you entered a building, there could be like a random infected just chilling in a corner and they would jump at you. And sometimes it would get you, sometimes it wouldn't. But the game during nighttime is what really drove the nail into the coffin. The volatiles during nighttime was some scary shit. It was like the first time you played Dying Light 1 and you were introduced into the volatile during nighttime and you had to sprint all the way back to the safe zone. That was genuinely scary. Hmm. The the sound design in this game is phenomenal. I'm really surprised on how well they did the sounds. I'll get to that in a bit. I want to talk about the story real quick. It is gonna contain like spoilers, like game ending spoilers. So basically, you start with Kyle, as the trailer implies. He was captured after the outbreak in Haran. I think like a few, I don't know, months or weeks after he escaped Haran, and he was, surviving. And then he was captured by the GRE, which then he was turned into a lab rat, where he was experimented on, tortured for years. And the person behind these experiments was a guy named the Baron, and he was experimented on for years. He then managed to break out with the help of a character named Olivia. He goes through the facility, he escapes. He then meets up with Olivia in a monastery where Olivia tells him, if you want to defeat the Baron, well, you have to get stronger. And Kyle, that's Kyle's entire mission. There are some instances where he just wants to go after the Baron. He tries, he fails. He makes up his mind to go for the Chimeras to level up, to get stronger. And throughout the way on killing the Chimeras, he runs into the townspeople. The townspeople give him shelter. He helps them. They help him. He helps them. They help him. And the later on in the story, when Kyle hears about the Baron being somewhere, he goes after the Baron. Lord and behold, it was a trap. One of the townspeople betrayed him, and he managed to escape the trap. He went back to the town people and told them what happened. They then put him in contact with these infected people, these hybrids that are like human and infected. They helped him with the stuff that he needed to do, and towards like the end, after he's basically killed all of the chimeras, they go after the beast, which is the entire point, or the entire thing that I guess the game builds upon. That the beast is like the scariest infected that's out there. They have a plan to lead to trap the beast, to knock him out and return to his human state of mind. Because the leader of the infected hybrids, Lydia, I think that's her name, is able to control infected, and is able to telepathically speak to other people or other infected. So that's their plan. Their plan is to lead the beast into a cave, try to get him weak enough to where Lydia can control him, and try to get him back to his human state of mind. They're able to do it. They capture him. They enter his mind, or Lydia enters his mind and gets him back to his human state. And the beast is, shocker, it's Aiden from Dying Light 2. Thankfully, they didn't make him into an antagonist. And after they return Aiden to his human form, he starts telling them what happened, how Spike and him came to rescue Kyle from the experiment, but they failed. And that's when the Baron captured Aiden and started experimenting on him. And the Baron got really attached to Aiden because he even said that Aiden was a better test subject than Kyle. And after Aiden finishes like recapping what happened, the Baron calls through the radio and asks for Aiden back because he wants to keep experimenting on him. And he gives threats that he has people that are important to the plot or to the story, like cemented characters. And obviously Kyle and Aiden don't like that. So they make a plan to go in the morning to infiltrate the palace or the castle and get them out and kill the Baron and yippee, happy days. But Aiden is impatient and decides to go after the Baron by himself. He ultimately gets captured. So it's Kyle and up to the townspeople and the infected to go and rescue them. They go to rescue them, but it's a trap because Olivia, the one that helped you escape, betrays you and gives you to the Baron. And then there's this sequence where everybody's around the table and the Baron just starts offing people in that table. Mm, but surprisingly, Olivia, or not surprisingly, for me it was obvious, kind of. Olivia is actually on your side. She double crossed the Baron. She manages to stun him. She stabs him in the eye with a knife. He runs away. She's able to free everybody. Kyle and Aiden decide to go for the Baron. And then we get this cool sequence where it's the Baron against Kyle and Aiden. You start fighting, infected come at you, guards come at you. It's a pretty cool boss fight. I gotta say, from story mode boss fights, that one was actually pretty fun. Like, I don't think I've played a single player game where the boss fight was like as fun. It was mainly like the other story mode games I've played is more towards the player side. But I felt like this fight, it was more either which way. I don't know how to explain it. It was a pretty good boss fight. You beat him, you end up killing him, and towards the end, there's this helicopter that flies over, and you hear a familiar voice. It's the lady that was in Dying Light 1 that she tasks you to um what Kyle's mission was in Dying Light 1. I think it was to destroy, I can't remember, but it wasn't a good thing. They started to destroy the the, the vaccines to help people from turning, and to just bomb Haran just to get rid of the virus. That was a lady that was talking through the radio from the helicopter flies off while she's telling Kyle that if he joins the GRE back, or if he joins the GRE again, then they would make wonderful actions. And that's how the game ends. The side quests, I gotta say, really, I feel like Dying Light side quests were just really, really good. Even in Dying Light 2's, there were some side quests that were notable or noteworthy that I really enjoyed, just like in Dying Light 1. And in Dying Light The Beast, really, really good side quests. The characters were really good. The weapons feel nice. The gore was toned up a notch. There were these, I think even the Techland devs explained it. They added more hitboxes to where if you hit a certain spot, a certain like horror effect would happen. Like it was either the arm, the stomach, the head. They added multiple hitboxes to make the gore more expandable. The variance and diversity of the infected, like the normal ones, the fast ones, the volatiles, the chimeras, the people, it was really good. Now, the map, it is small, but it makes up with the complexity and the detailed interiors, the all the things that you can explore. It really makes up for it. Even the director of the Dying Light even said he didn't want to make a big map. He just wanted to make the the map more detailed and make it more memorable. And I can see that because there are multiple instances where you're just running, you enter an apartment or you enter a house and you're able to explore it, find loot, and you can really see the details that these people were working on, how they put their, I guess, their heart and soul into making these interiors detailed, and the sound design. My God, it is, in my opinion, some of the best sounding effects I've heard in a while. Like sometimes you just need to slow down and just admire the atmosphere. Like you could be running, you enter an apartment. There were these windows where it was wide open, the wind was blowing, the curtains were just flapping. You could hear the chimes, you can hear the wind, you could hear the ambience. It was really good. You can get really immersed, especially when you're like find like vehicles. The vehicles are, it makes sense in this game because it was either running or driving by car because you can't fast travel. The the guns, there was a lot of guns in this game, but I felt it didn't really break the core gameplay. It just felt like a suggestion. The only time you would use it, in my opinion, the only time I used it was if the other guards or NPCs had guns, then that's when I would use it. But it didn't really break the core gameplay for me. Mm, Again, there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game. It may not have the biggest map, but I still have to do some stuff in order to complete it. Now I will say towards the beginning of the towards launch, when it launched, there were bugs that were quickly fixed on Monday. The bugs were daytime was still daytime even though it's supposed to be nighttime. And nighttime was nighttime even though it's supposed to be daytime. I don't know if I mentioned this early in the video. Hopefully I didn't. I'm gonna sound like a dumbass, but those were one of the bugs. And right now there's this bug on the silo safe house where you can't break the box, and it's pretty annoying because I'm trying to get the achievements, and I can't get it because I can't get that last safe house, and you have to break that box in order to turn on the power and get the safe zone, which sucks. But I mean, hopefully they fix that. Hopefully I didn't talk about that early in the video because again, I sound like a dumbass. Mm, but yeah, I mean, hopefully this game is like a Game Awards contender. Granted, me personally, I don't think it would be Game of the Year because there's a lot of big dogs like Kingdom Come, Expedition 33, and some other ones. In my opinion, this game should be a contender for like horror genre, sound design, uh, art direction. I feel like that's where it really strived because it was a really good game. I would give this game like a 9 out of 10. The reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I feel like there was some stuff they could have improved on, like the animations or like they used a lot of the Dying Light 2 stuff, like animations and like say like a lot like bruh. They used a lot of the Dying Light 2 animations and some of the buildings s- props that were in Dying Light 2, which I don't feel like it's really noticeable. For example, there was some stuff that was from Dying Light 2, but it was also new from the Beast. And I feel like the Beast overshadowed the Dying Light 2 animations and some of the other stuff. It wasn't really game breaking or push out of the immersion. It was fine. They used the right amount to the point where it wasn't, wow, it's just a copy and paste. But mm, yeah, yes, I'd give this game a 9 out of 10. A must play pickup game. Like, this is a game that you should play because it's really, really good. And I'm glad they didn't butcher this like every other single player game that's like microtransaction dog shit. But honestly, that's really what I wanted to talk about. Just come on here and give my thoughts and opinions on this game. Mm, hope you have a good rest of your day or night. And yeah, have a good one. Peace.